Hey, Kinderguppies, it's Mr. McComb once again, and I've got another new read aloud book for you. This time it's called Mr. Sneeze, and it's written by Roger Hargreaves. Do you remember that author? He's the funny man who wrote all of those Little Miss and Mr. Men books that we love so much. And I've got another surprise as well, an extra special narrator who's going to help me read.
Hi, Mr. McComb. Hi, Kinderguppies. It's Miss Jamelia.
Oh, are you guys ready to hear Miss Jamelia and I? Here we go. This is Coldland, which is a country somewhere near the North Pole. The weather in Coldland is winter all the time. When it isn't snowing, it's freezing, and when it isn't freezing, it's snowing. So you can only imagine how cold it must be.
Because it's so cold in Coldland, everybody who lives there is cold as well. You can tell if somebody comes from Coldland because everybody there has a red nose. And people in Coldland aren't the only ones with red noses. In Coldland, you can see red-nosed dogs chasing red-nosed cats, chasing red-nosed mice. In Coldland, you can even see red-nosed elephants.
And what you hear most of the time in Coldland is a noise that sounds like this. Ah, achoo! The sound of the sneeze is very common indeed in Coldland, which is not surprising at all, is it?
This is the story of Mr. Sneeze, who lived in a small, snow-covered cottage in Shivertown, the capital of Coldland.
Every morning, Mr. Sneeze woke up, sneezed, got up, sneezed again, got dressed, sneezed once more, went downstairs, and guess what? He sneezed, then ate his breakfast, then sneezed, then went to work, still sneezing.
I don't like this sneezing all the time, he thought to himself every day, until one day he decided to leave Coldland and try to find a cure for the sneezes. So that very same day, Mr. Sneeze packed the things he'd need for his journey, mainly handkerchiefs, sneezed, locked his front door, sneezed, and set off. He walked and sneezed and walked his way across Coldland, and then he sneezed and walked and sneezed for days and days until Coldland was far behind him.
As he walked away from Coldland, he noticed that there was less and less snow, and eventually he walked so far that there was no snow at all. And as he walked, he noticed something else. He wasn't walking and sneezing and sneezing and walking. Now he was just walking and walking and walking. For the first time in his whole life, he wasn't sneezing. Not at all. Not a bit. Not even the teeniest, tiniest little achoo.
I wonder why I'm not sneezing, he thought to himself. But he must have thought his thought out loud to himself, because a voice behind him replied, "You're not sneezing because you haven't got a cold." Mr. Sneeze jumped, turned, and there behind him stood a wise old wizard.
What's a cold? Asked Mr. Sneeze. A cold is what your body catches when you are too cold, said the wise old wizard wisely. Oh, said Mr. Sneeze, but I come from a country called Coldland, where everybody is too cold all of the time. Nonsense, snorted the wizard. It can't be too cold all of the time because of the sun. And he pointed up to the sun, which was smiling high in the sky.
Hey, Kinderguppies. After the wizard told me that I'd sneeze because I have a cold from being cold, I went and did some research. Turns out I was sneezing a lot because I was sharing bad germs with other people. And then being cold made it worse. But we don't have any sun in Coldland, said Mr. Sneeze. No sun? Exclaimed the wizard. How extremely, extraordinarily extraordinary! We'd better do something about that then, hadn't we? Yes, agreed Mr. Sneeze, not quite knowing what the wizard was talking about.
How far away is this place called Coldland? Asked the wizard. Oh, it's kilometers and kilometers and kilometers away, replied Mr. Sneeze. In which direction? Asked the wizard. So Mr. Sneeze pointed. Oh, well, that shouldn't take too long, said the wizard, who then waved his wand and muttered some magic words, which wouldn't be magic if we told you exactly what they were.
Whatever those magic words were, they worked. Before you could say sneeze, both the wizard and Mr. Sneeze were transported to Shivertown, which you will remember is the capital of Coldland. As usual, it was snowing. I say, this is a cold, gloomy place, said the wizard. Achoo! Replied Mr. Sneeze, who had started sneezing again.
Coldland certainly needs some sunshine, said the wizard, and that's going to take some rather special magic. Please hurry up, shivered Mr. Sneeze, who was rapidly turning into a blue and white snowsicle man. Now, said the wizard, ignoring him, I'm going to say some magic words, and I want you to sneeze 3 times right away, immediately afterwards.
The wise old wizard then held up his magic wand and muttered some magic words, which again wouldn't be magic if we told you what they were. Achoo! 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 Sneezed Mr. Sneeze. Then, quite suddenly, as if by magic, which indeed it was, the sun came out from behind the big black clouds, and it stopped snowing.
There now, chuckled the wizard. That should stop your sneezing. And then, after muttering some more secret magic words, and without waiting to even say goodbye, he waved his wand and disappeared. Mr. Sneeze just stood there, flabbergasted in the sunshine, watching all the snow begin to melt.
After that, the sun shone every day, and today Coldland isn't anything like it used to be. You can't see red-nosed dogs chasing red-nosed cats chasing red-nosed mice anymore. And these days, the sound of the sneeze is a very uncommon sound indeed. And even Mr. Sneeze doesn't sneeze anymore.
And that isn't the only thing different about Mr. Sneeze, as he discovered himself when he looked in the mirror one morning. Can you see what was different about Mr. Sneeze?
Achoo! Oh, hello, Mr. Sneeze. How are you doing? Well, I'm pretty cold, and I can't stop sneezing again. It's so cold here.
Hello, Mr. Sneeze. Did I hear you saying that it was cold?
Yes, ever since I came to Fort St. John, I've been so cold. Achoo!
I hear that you're sneezing, but you do have a smile. That's good. Why are you in Fort St. John, Mr. Sneeze?
Well, I was in Coldland, which isn't very cold anymore because, well, did I ever tell you the story about how a wizard came and made the sun shine?
What?
And now Coldland is not so cold, and when I'm at home, I'm hardly sneezing. But I came to visit my friend Arwa in Fort St. John, and ever since then, I've been sneezing.
I think we should go and find another wizard and see if he can help turn Fort St. John more spring-like and warm for you.
Oh, that would be great for me and all the kids in Fort St. John.
All right, here we go.
Well, Kinderguppies, we've done it one more time. We've come to the end of another book. This author, Roger Hargreaves, he's so funny. I love all of his characters, and it's so much fun to read with a friend.
I had a lot of fun reading with you today. I really miss all the kids at Montmurray, but especially the kindergartens.
Well, I think that if you Kinderguppies would like one challenge take a look at the pictures right above us, find a character you really like, and share with Mr. McComb which character you'd like me to read a book about next. And until then, talk to you all later.